Our next speaker is a man who really needs no introduction, but we're going to give him one anyway. Matt Bron is Queensland's eco-whisperer, deal-maker, storyteller and all-round green-tinged visionary. He is the Program Director for Ecotourism at DestinationQ, and if you've heard the phrase 45 by 45, we've been talking about it earlier, so hopefully you've heard about it. You would have heard Matt's voice not far behind all of that. His mission, in case you're wondering, 45 game-changing ecotourism projects right across this state by 2045. Projects that are bankable, projects that are measurable, regenerative, and above all, that really do mean something. He's worked at every level of tourism, branding and development, from Mirvac to TEQ to Honeycombs, and today he's bringing all of that experience, that wealth of knowledge, to the front line of innovations in our national parks, First Nation partnerships, and nature-based futures. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Bron.
Thank you very much, and I think my speech is nearly over. Thank you for the lovely introduction. Full disclosure, AI Matt is speaking with you today. AI Matt wears a jacket and tie. The real Matt you know and love will be at the drinks this afternoon, so please look out for him there. As you know, I am here to talk about 45 by 45, and I'm a pretty lucky, in a lucky position to be able to do this piece of work, and I am really privileged to be able to do it with you, the industry. It's exciting, and coming after the speeches this morning, the Premier's speech and our Minister's speech and the DG, I feel like I'm in the perfect position to try and make this happen, and I think the Minister said more than 45, so that's where I need your help. True story though, the night this launched, 45 by 45, it launched on June the 2nd, and I was there, and that was my 45th birthday. So we're meant to be, me and this project. I'll be 65 when it's over. We'll see how we go. So we're getting ecotourism moving, you've heard it, and you'll probably hear a little bit of repetition here today with regards to what everyone else has spoken about, but I want to give you a little bit more detail on how you can get involved and what we're looking for whilst you get involved with this piece of work. We're very much here to deliver Queensland's future and position ourselves as an even more powerhouse global leader than we already are, and we think we've got plenty to do and plenty that we can do. The 45 by 45 policy is online. It's the black one behind me. If you haven't read that one properly, it'll give you a lot of the insights and details that I'm going to run through today with you. We really do want to unlock and provide new and improved ecotourism opportunities, balancing nature, culture, scale, design and impact. Working with industry to make it easier to develop ecotourism experiences. We've heard the pathways, the process to development has to be sped up, it has to make life easier, it has to be clear for you all. And I know that the work we're starting internally and following on from the last 12 months is only going to get stronger, and hopefully you'll see even more speed through that process. But we want to showcase the spirit of our state to the world as well, and we've got incredible opportunities. What we're looking for are high quality, low impact experiences that protect Queensland's natural beauty without harming the ecosystem. Now, 45 by 45, to clear up, is not a grant program. It's a vision. It's a vision to produce these experiences, right through to 2032 and beyond into 2045 for all our visitors to come. So what we will be able to give you with the 45 by 45 is access to all of our government departments, conversations at the right levels, a way for you to engage on where your project is maybe stalling or opportunities. I'm looking for place-making projects. So while there's a lot of you in the room that deliver tours and deliver amazing experiences for people to do when they're in a region, we want to hopefully build some place-making projects around you so that we can continue to attract markets to you. So think about projects that you might be sitting at home and you go to yourself, I need to go and see that one day. That's the place I actually want to go to. And then, hopefully, once they start researching that place, they'll start to look into the region more and connect with your businesses at an experience level as well. Innovative design, environmental stewardship, and authentic storytelling. You remember from the work I did at TEQ, it was all about experience development. We can add so much value to our product by developing our experiences. It's not just bricks and mortar. It is light touch, and it's the people that will make it at the end of the day. It's our operators that will make the experience world class. Small scale, light touch, low footprint, you've heard that a lot, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about some examples of what that might be a little bit later on in the speech, but it's a really important part because that balance is crucial. We can't wreck these places. We don't want to wreck these places. We love them. We want our guests to love them. Importantly as well, 45 by 45 will hopefully elevate regional tourism and dispersal. I'm going to show you a map here which has a bit of a run-through of our existing projects that we're working on that were announced 6 months ago. You've got your little purple triangles up there, and you can see that the first few that we've announced are quite orientated to the coast. If I stand up here and do this again with you next year, I'd like to see some purple dots, purple triangles further in, further down, further up high. We can use this piece of work to make sure everybody's getting a little piece of this puzzle and some new opportunities to spread your market into new places they haven't visited. So the projects that you've heard so far that we're working on, you would have heard the DG, Trish mentioned the Wongetti Trail and the amazing work that the Queensland National Parks team are now taking on board to deliver the next phase of this trail. It is steaming ahead, and the speed in which things have turned around to deliver the access we needed for the rest of the project to be delivered has been an exceptional, and congratulations to the team who've taken that on most recently. The Smithfield mountain biking trails, that'll be a I'm going to say world class, and I get in trouble saying world class all the time at work. What is world class? Maybe Google that in the AI. World class could be anything to anybody, but this Smithfield bike track will be world class. The downhill experiences, the experts that can come to this track, and from family members who are not very good at biking like myself, we can also enjoy it. So it's excellent to see that that piece of work is progressing, and it's a really loved project locally in Cairns as well. One of the really major capital pieces of work is the Lake Eacham master plan. Now, I haven't got to Lake Eacham yet, but the beauty of that little area is being done up and being definitely delivered to visitors in a way that they haven't seen before. We've also got work, you would have heard the Thornsbourne Trail. We're partnering with World Expeditions to ensure that we've got some incredible operators now working that trail. That's one of our most famous and original walking trails in Queensland, and used to be coined the sort of practice run to the Kokoda Trail. I don't know if they still say that, but that's what I remember was on at school. You'd go and do Thornsbourne, then you'd go do the Kokoda track. So great to have an operator sitting out there on that. The Palm Island community are working on 7 kilometres of new trail to be able to showcase their incredible island, and the council have already started their work out there and commenced shovels in the ground basically working on that one. So Naro track, what an opportunity. I'm going to show you some pictures on this, but Whitsundays in that beautiful blue water, we've built this 32 kilometres, and again, National Parks have done an incredible job preparing this site and then tendering it out to World Expeditions for its delivery. That water, that backdrop, and that new infrastructure is world class, and I'll show you some pictures of the site shortly if you haven't seen them already. It's just an incredible asset to the Whitsundays region. The Whitsundays Skyway, and I think the team are in the room here today. I've been doing a lot of work with the team, there's Elizabeth, on progressing the work that has to happen to achieve this vision. It's an enormous vision, and it is one that will change the landscape of the mainland in the Whitsundays. Lots of work to do, lots of negotiation to happen to make sure that this light touch experience plays out, but it's going well, and I look forward to putting that one up here in lights very shortly. The Springbrook Master Plan down on the Gold Coast. Congratulations to the Gold Coast City Council team on a fantastic nature-based tourism program. Well done for what you've delivered for your city, and I look forward as well to working with you on some of the master planning around the Springbrook region that the QPWS team have also commenced work on. Gold Coast City have, put their their money where their mouth is, and they've invested into tourism. And I was involved in some of those conversations and looking forward to being part of more of those visions shortly as well. So they're our existing projects. They're the ones we've got up and running. How do we get more? People come up to me all the time saying, Matt, what's on the list? How do we get on the list to be a 45 by 45? Well, I've mentioned it. We need projects that are shaping basically iconic places, world-class ecotourism locations. We need an alignment to the Destination 2045 regional priorities, and we need to reflect those emerging trends that we're seeing and hearing about today. Ideally, your project will be quite well advanced. We are looking to find projects that have comprehensive planning already underway, feasibility work, and a vision in place. We're not going to dismiss those that don't. Concepts, we want to hear from you as well on concepts, but certainly to get a pipeline for 20 years, I need a mixture of concept, well advanced, small, dispersed. We're looking for a matching, basically, of projects that can fit those different realms. We want projects that support conservation and research initiatives and outcomes around managing the environment, looking after the environment. And regenerative tourism is a term that we haven't talked too much about this morning, but it is an important element of what we're looking for. Tourism projects that give back to nature and conserve, and a way that they engage their guests to give back as well. The whole, if you love some place, you'll protect it. We will look for that type of information when we're looking at different projects. We're working really closely with our innovation team. DETSI's bigger than just tourism, environment, science, tourism, innovation. I think I said tourism twice. Maybe I'm from that part. Grab this little QR code or put it into the ones you've already got loaded up with the QTIC team. Have you seen anything that's really innovative out there in the ecotourism market? Don't just think about the building either. I'm really fascinated with waste management at the moment. It's an important subject that we've got to get right. How do we move everyone's stuff? Well, clean, make the place, no worse off than when we arrived. And so innovation is just not all about the experience. We want to see and understand how internationally issues of managing remote area development can be managed. Power, you name it. So please, we're just looking to gather ideas. You've all travelled, you've all seen stuff, and our innovation team are about to kick off with a workshop with industry on this topic shortly as well. I want to touch a little bit on a couple of operators that I've been doing just desktop research on. I haven't been to these locations, although I would love to. Perhaps, remember when I was running Outback, I'd do Outback on tour, and we'd take 12 Outback operators just to different locations all around the state. Basically a bus, an esky, and we would visit all these different locations and get ideas. And, I think travelling and site visiting is a really important part of our industry. So been doing a bit of desktop research on a couple of businesses that I think are developing something interesting, something different. I had to get, because I'm AL Matt, I will pronounce this correctly, Bisate Lodge in Rwanda. Now, this is a rainforest lodge in Africa, but the mother company is a company called Wilderness. And on their website, they have this really dedicated section to their purpose. They call themselves Pioneers of Purpose. They're currently managing around 5.4 million acres of land that is predominantly under conservation through their tourism business. Their mission is to double the amount of land that they help to conserve in the next decade, and they believe that their guests are the only key to them being able to achieve this. So, educate, empower and protect is their motto, and that is exactly what we're trying to achieve with some of these projects that we'd like to see in our beautiful protected areas. So have a look up at the Wilderness website if you can. As I said, I've only done the desktop. I'll plan the on-tour soon and let you know when we're open for who wants to come. Trish. Architecture. You remember in Seinfeld, George always wanted to be an architect? I'm into architecture too, and I believe that the two industries need to come together more on this subject. Architecture proves that we can do things with buildings that we've never done before, and we can do it in a way that doesn't hurt the landscape. This example of the Juve Landscape Hotel in Norway, another one for the tour, is a four-sided building, well maintained, built with local materials and lots of glass. All inside is black, fairly minimalist, and each villa is positioned in a way that you can't see the other one, and you've got your own exclusive view when you visit it. The main thing I love about this particular piece of work, and it was derived from an architect's vision, so that's why he sort of had the idea to sort of go with it, was they only use 40 millimetre round steel foundations, and I've tried to capture it there with that picture on the left with under the glass. That's all that holds these buildings up, is a 40 millimetre round steel pole on a foundation. The owner believes that his buildings are only a guest on this land as well, and he wants to be able to pick them up and take them off the land at a drop of a hat and leave the place relatively untouched. Maybe a 40 millimetre hole left is all he's going to do. So I think we need to engage with the architecture industry as well and see what crazy ideas they've got going on out there. They love to build crazy visions. Somewhere we've got to marry it all up in between and manage the innovation around how we control people, control our footprint. So a couple of cool ideas that maybe you'd be interested in looking up a little bit further. I wanted to bring the pictures of the narrow track up because, again, we can do this all at home. It's not all about overseas, and we've got amazing and incredible industry in here that do this stuff already. And I want to call out and congratulate the team that have just about completed this work on the narrow track. You can see these platforms here will be where beds and sort of swags will be laid out. It's a light touch piece of infrastructure, a little bit of toilet, but $1 million views. In a location on Whitsunday Island that you never would have got to. And working with World Expeditions, you're now going to get to it in a curated way. You're going to learn more about the region and the Gi and Naro people. You're going to understand the environment better. And this, I believe, the first paid walkers will hit the ground in May 2026 this year. So, we've got it here and we can do it here. And so well done to the team for that delivery work. And I believe the Minister was there a week or two ago to make that call. So my pictures are allowed to be up today, as I understand. If that's wrong, that's a glitch through AI. So do you have a world-class ecotourism project or a place-making ecotourism project that you would like to share with us? To use the words used this morning, we are open for business. I did hear the Minister mention how we've had about 30 different ideas come in, and that is absolutely correct. We've had 30 people since I took up this role approach me with different project ideas that I'm gathering, all unprompted. They didn't have a way to basically fill out a form and let me know what they were doing. They just took the information from Destination 45 and reached out. We have a form for you now, we formalised it a bit and built the website and we caught up finally. So I really want to hear from you. If I'm going to make it to 2045 and 65 years of age, I need to hear from you. We've got work to do and we need ideas and we need them in locations right across the state. So that's my presentation, but I did want to leave a moment or two if you wanted to throw any questions my way, because I sped the time up. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Matt Bron. Before he goes, he's staying with us because we do have a few questions, Matt, that have come in for you. We'll see how we go for time. This first one, so how will over-tourism be controlled? Where is the limit to be able to protect the environment, and what actions and accountabilities are in place?
Well, over-tourism is controlled by us, the tourism industry. We are the operators that can bring an experience to a place in a manner that you're going to receive an experience beyond what you would have had on your own. People love to roam freely and see things freely, and I think that's when you lose control. Now, I'm not saying we're going to take away the freedoms of the world, absolutely not. But in special locations where there's special stories and special things for people to see, we can control and do it way better than anyone can do it on their own. So beyond that, a little bit of emotional speech about how good the tourism industry is, we've got all the regulations in place. As an operator out there who wants to build something, it's still going to be a path to development. You still have to work through your approvals processes. You'll still have to work through conversations with traditional owners, the federal area. Everyone wants to talk to you about your project and make sure that we're basically following it and doing it right.
Yeah.
And we need to do it right.
Yeah.
And the regulation is there for us to help us in that respect.
Well, it is a bold and focused ambition that you have for this state. Matt Bron, once again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.